Presented by Quick Trip's quality gasoline guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
9 to noon, ready to go. John Kuhn has joined the fray. Kuhn, Butchie, Armin, myself, and Josh. Good morning, lads. How we doing?
Fan-stinking-tastic, Zabe. 24 hours until Nooner Day 4, tearing it up at Dugout 54. And then our last game against the Cincinnati Reds for the 2023 baseball season.
Do we have any Ellie De La Cruz taunts ready?
No, why would Zabe and Armin have that?
Kuhn and Armin.
They're their best fan. Armin's and Kuhn are his best fans.
Yeah, you said Zabe and Armin.
Did I say Kuhn and Armin?
No,
I meant Kuhn and Armin.
You meant Kuhn and Armin.
And Zabe.
Zabe, Zabe's on my side with this. I just want to see Kuhn and Armin cheer for Justin Jefferson too this year. Then
go ahead,
It's
Kuhn.
just a shame.
Zabe, do you appreciate Ellie De La Cruz as a player?
Yeah, but I check it. I keep it in check.
Well, it's in check, yes, but
definitely.
you can respect the hell
Right.
out of another team's star player, can't you? When they do special things.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be careful not to fall in love with other people's girls.
Nobody's in love with anyone.
Nobody's in
love.
No.
When the Packers,
there is a.
I've heard Ellie De La
strange.
Cruz love.
when the Packers
Yes.
played the Lions in the 90s and started beating the brakes off the Lions every time we played in the playoffs,
Were you a
every important
Megatron
game.
lover? Because he was on your fantasy team.
I'm talking about the 90s. But when Barry Sanders had one that made your head spun around, he said, you sat back and said, man, that boy's bad. That guy's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Absolutely.
I'm not sitting there hoping he breaks
Game
it off.
recognized game, Armin. That's
Right.
what we're
Can't
talking
wait to see
about
him
here.
go for -2 in the cold at Lambeau Field.
Come on,
I'm with you guys.
When Jurkovic missed him, when John Jurkovic got juked out, I said, if he's even, he's leaving. That's the way it is. You got to set the edge on him. But I wasn't cheering for him, Butch. I wasn't cheering for him.
Okay, I think when it comes to guys like De La Cruz and Jefferson, because they're in the neighborhood,
They're in the division.
they are in a different, even further restricted category. They're like hot family members, where it doesn't matter how hot your cousin or aunt is. She's family. You better pump the brakes even harder on that.
What?
Yeah.
I'll even go hot neighbor. Like you can't look at the hot
What do you
neighbor. She's
what,
next door.
Josh, don't you get it? That you even dial back your further appreciation.
Yeah, Josh.
Because they're
Yeah,
in the family. So when it comes to divisional stars, you must lower the temperature even further on your fandom.
Sure.
Barry Sanders was in the division, Steve, for goodness sakes.
I know. So lower it.
I guess my point is I'm not cheering for him. It's
right.
very
You can
simple.
respect him. It's putting respect on his name. I hated Albert Pujols. Man, watching him just crush us and just destroy Miller Park every time he was there.
Well,
I hated him. I
Butchie-
respected him. I
Butchie and I-
respected how
hard to
good of
figure
a
out.
player he
Butchie and I
is.
believe that there is too much cuckooing over De La Cruz earlier this year.
Oh, I'm with you that the national
From you
media.
and
From you and
Kuhn.
Kuhn.
Oh no,
You
there
didn't
wasn't
hear
much-
me cuckoo one time, Zabe.
Cuckoo,
One
cuckoo.
time. I said this man is an impressive specimen coming in, running out, infield singles and stealing second, third, and home in a matter of 2 pitches. Yeah, it's pretty damn impressive. I'm throwing some respect on it. I'm not applauding it.
Well,
I'm not
I was
excited
not
about
with
it.
you day to day, but Butchie was, and Butchie believes you were swooning too much.
All I said
Way too much. That's fine. When
listeners-
Justin Jefferson goes off, I want you guys to give a whole bunch of credit on air to him.
Listeners, did
I'm not
I
giving him
did.
credit.
I
Armin-
said
did
the
Armin-
man is insane.
Let's ask the listeners, was there too much swooning over De La Cruz earlier this year? I know you're starting to pump your brakes now because he's hurting us.
Listen, there's a little revisionist history here. I said a couple things, but I didn't. You're pushing some narrative here, Butch, that
No
I was
doubt, Armin.
waving flags for him and this and that. All I said was.
I would never do such a thing, Armin.
Yeah, all I said was
please.
De La Cruz is going to be a problem or something like that when he comes up. And I said, like, did you see what De La Cruz did last night against so-and-so when he had some great play? And I said, the guy's an exciting player. Those are the 3 things I said. Now, if you want to say,
let the listeners determine.
well, let the listeners
You know what I
decide.
mean?
Yeah. Because you're going to accuse me of not being a Brewers fan or something like that.
No, I didn't say. I
I'm going
just
to
said
come
you
back
can't.
at you.
You
Oh,
can't
that's
look at the
crazy.
hot neighbor. You shouldn't be doing that. Your
Who
wife
is-
is
Yeah,
right
or
next
your
to you. And you're
aunt,
looking at the
apparently.
hot neighbor. You can't do that.
Who is the guy online that declared you not a hardcore fan or not an avid fan? That Nagler then clapped back on
That
him
was a
on
guy on
Twitter
Twitter,
saying,
yeah.
Well,
What
he
was
called
his-
you a casual. Called you a casual.
Chris Hughes or something, some guy named Chris. I
What,
don't
what was the
remember.
Call him out.
argument?
First
He said, I
and
guess a
last name.
casual fan. You're a casual fan, so I get it. You don't understand the game or something.
Yeah, he called him you a
I don't care. That's actually funny. Actually, that was actually a funny moment when I get called a casual. I'd like to be. Well, I would like to. It matter less to me, but I can't.
Yes. So
Butch,
well said.
Trust me, Butch. I wasn't happy when De La Cruz hit the homer last night. You really need to believe me on that, please. I want him to go 0 for 19.
I just don't want him to be happy ever.
I just think it's funny.
I don't want to cheer for someone that's in the division.
I'm not cheering for him.
Talk about anybody that's in the division. That is direct going against the Milwaukee Brewers. I just think it's funny. I bring this up. You guys know we can respect them. Then all of a sudden I bring up Justin Jefferson. You're like, oh, it's completely different.
It's not completely different. Justin Jefferson helped me win the Whiskey League. Thank God for that man.
Worse. Now that's worse.
That 100% it is.
That does not mean for a second that when he was on the field and I was watching him play the Packers, I was like, let's go Jefferson.
No, man. Hedge your bets. If he's going to crush you, you better have him on your fantasy team. Better take a dub in one category for getting an L in the other.
Thank you.
I'm with you,
Which when we were caught that ball yesterday, I jumped out of my chair and I did my whole thing. I did my whole thing. Like I went nuts.
What is your thing, by the way?
Can we see that again?
When I start shaking my shirt with the chest and everything.
When you start shaking.
And I was
seizing when you start seizing.
Yeah. Whatever it is. And I was excited. All right. Now, when he hit that ball out, I was deflated. But I said, I can't believe he just hit it that far where he actually hit it. Because there aren't that many balls that go out of Miller Park like that. He crushed it.
Especially out of
American Family Field, excuse me. So you get my point. That's all I'm saying about that. Okay.
Talking
text line. County Stadium. It was a lot further.
Cecil hit one out of county.
Talking text line. Why the hell did Butch and Zabe turn this sexual? This one from Ian in East Troy. Get yourself a wife who will actually point out the hot neighbor. Now you're hashtag winning.
What?
Hey, Laura, we'll talk about all the hot chicks around here.
Sushi in the Falls. Sushi in the Falls.
That's reality. Yeah.
Sushi in the Falls. What if it's your wife's aunt or cousin asking for a friend? Jeff and Sun Prairie. Did you guys love watching Sanders or Peyton?
Walter Payton. That's I said. Barry Sanders did some things that were truly amazing to watch.
It's all a matter of degrees. That's all.
Yeah, I guess.
How did they allow somebody from the team, Kuhn, put up that taunting scoreboard thing on De La Cruz before he went yard? Almost hit a home run in the first inning, but it was caught.
It's hilarious. What's the problem?
So you want more of that?
I do.
Yeah,
I
fun.
personally do. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. And, the old school see or speak no evil, hear no evil. Come on, man. Packers social media was ranked as 32nd in the NFL because they won't touch any of this stuff.
They're buttoned up.
Packers social media wants to touch all of this stuff. They want to play in these waters, but we can't because we got a tradition.
This is not social media. This is scoreboard.
This is scoreboard
social media.
No,
it
it's
all
a
plays
huge difference.
It's the same intern running this.
When I say
you think the Brewers hired someone whose job it is to solely come up with little creative tidbits they can throw on the scoreboard? You think they got that type of payroll where they're paying someone $35,000-$40,000 to come up with that? You are out of your mind.
One of my favorite things
out of your mind.
One of my favorite things in New Orleans was the scoreboard during the game, and there was a segment at the end of every third quarter, and it's our city versus your city, and it would say, our music, and then it would show like
they
people
troll
down
the
there,
city.
on in the French Quarter playing some jazz, and then it'd say their music, and it shows some bum trying to play a trumpet and doing very poorly. And then it'd say our food, and it'd show like some gumbo and some etouffee, and it'd show their food, and it would show like fish sticks. That was one of my favorite parts of being down there, and I love trolling.
Okay,
but that's a different troll. This is a troll at a player.
Yeah, hold on.
That is, as you guys like to say, really good.
It was funny. What's the big deal? It's
just
fun.
So you know, the job is called game operations, and they're full-time employees, and they get paid way more than that. And they go to annual conventions, and they learn from other stadiums and other sports the stuff to do to entertain the fans during the down times of the game. Normally, the social media department has nothing to do with game operations.
But you're saying that there's one person that their job is what appears on the scoreboard.
Listen to what I said.
Well, I'm saying you just contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't. I said the game operations division.
It's really hostile on here today, Armin. What in the hell did we walk into? What happened on Tuesday?
But game operations and social media are two different things.
Yes.
Like game operations.
I agree. There's a whole lot more of game operations than coming up with little kitschy things to put on the scoreboard.
Right. But I believe the scoreboard is a place to play it straight. Does that make me old school or lame or boring?
I've seen
So be it.
I've seen a lot of stuff like this on scoreboards, trolling different.
With the for the player. If you want to do the scoreboard in between innings to pump up the fans and play little videos and games, that's fine.
I don't think he really made fun of De La Cruz that much. He always says he almost hit a home run and it got robbed. It's celebrating Weimer's play, not disrespecting De La Cruz.
Point, Armin.
It wasn't like De La Cruz tripped over himself or he's
this guy sucks.
Yeah, he's got
It's
all
no
his all
different
hype.
than it's no different than back in the day when you went to watch the Bucks play and it would be like Ray Allen for 3, and then the Sixers go down and be like Sally Dellenberg.
Here's a good example. You brought that up at a Bucks Warriors game. They always put Warriors people on the scoreboard, right? And they say became a Warriors fan today, or probably likes the Yankees too. Or they troll the people that are wearing Warrior stuff.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Well, okay. And that
I wouldn't do it.
I think
it should be done
it makes you look lame and desperate and petty, and it could potentially motivate the other guy. Not that he needs more motivation. He's facing 98 miles an hour of heat or whatever it is, just trying to do the hardest thing in sports, hit a baseball on the round bat into play. I get it, but I just wouldn't do it. I think the scoreboard should be a straight place when it comes to other players.
Okay, it's a matter of taste, I guess. That's fine.
You guys are more new school. I'm somewhat
I don't think it's
surprised by
new
this.
school though. Like you said, game ops, there's different ways that you can make fun of a team than putting it on the scoreboard like that. Because guess what this has done now? It jumped on social media and every outlet possible saw this.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you've got egg on your face.
I don't agree.
What do you mean you don't? It's all over everywhere. Look at what the Brewers did, and then look what De La Cruz did to them.
Okay, but
And then look at what the Brewers did back to De La Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds. They won the game. What are we talking about?
They can win it, but it's about the optics of it. You guys are worried about that,
Okay,
but it's the optics of it. When you look at social media, you look at what it played out as, it is the Brewers tried to mock De La Cruz, and De La Cruz said, "See ya later." That's the narrative that's out there. That's all the things, all the notifications on my phone, all the notification words.
Let's get this
Look
thing
at the
hyped.
Brewers
I'm
make
cool
a
with
joke
this.
of themselves.
I understand.
That's every notification that came across this phone last night.
Okay.
Wasn't putting the Brewers in good light.
I understand what you're saying, Butch. It was on ESPN, all these different
It
things.
was on everything.
But there's also the part of that is because as a national story, they're trying to pump up De La Cruz and whatever he does. So the story there was the storyline of he overcame this troll by the Brewers and the Brewers look stupid. But that's what that storyline they're going with. But that wasn't reality. The reality was the Brewers overcame and won the game. That's a matter. We're never going to be this national story for that. So even though you have a point that a lot of outlets are saying that it makes maybe the Brewers look bad in a sense, in reality, all that matters to me is that we won the game. I don't care what ESPN and what they think of Milwaukee, because they're never going to like us anyway. Right. As being Milwaukee. Now, I understand what you're saying. Like we're the ones that maybe look embarrassed in that sense, but we still
national media like the Milwaukee Bucks. National media, when they came to Milwaukee, they did all.
I don't believe that either.
I want to probe the reaches of how far you, Armin, and you, Kuhn, would go with the scoreboard snarkery.
Okay.
So is that
all
fair
right?
word?
Because there's a line,
There
right?
was a little snarkery last night.
Right.
It was snarky.
Sure.
Maybe not taunting. It was snarky.
Sure.
What if they put up there home run first inning, parentheses, barely, or lucky?
I love that.
Well,
What
That
if
is
they?
great.
What if
That
they
is
showed-
good stuff.
What if they?
wind blown,
Win 8.
Yeah.
especially
Yes,
if
no
it was,
doubt.
especially if the dome was closed. Now that would be funny,
That is great. I like it.
right?
Whatever.
Butch, you're laughing, no?
I love that.
No.
Kuhn, whenever there's a story of like an old person getting a hole in one, I'm like, probably downwind.
Yeah, bounced off 3 trees and somehow got in.
All right. What about if you played the most embarrassing highlight of a player before he came to bat? Like, say, during the Jose Canseco's career, you played when the ball went off his head over
Love
the
it.
fence.
Love
Would that
it.
be okay?
Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay.
It's a highlight or a low light, whatever you want.
How
to call it.
about putting Zion Williamson's social media feed of all them thoughts?
That's
Getting
maybe,
in his
that's maybe a little far. That's maybe a little
okay.
far.
So we found
the line. We found the line. We found the
Here's an
line.
example for you, Butch. Butch, when you went on the road,
If you're talking thick with 2 C's, you got, let's hold that
Yeah.
one back.
Butch,
now.
Do we have an update on that, by the way? Has he smoothed that girlfriend situation
I
out?
think she's still going on after him.
Yeah.
Butch, when you went on the road in the Big Ten, what was the main thing the fans would put up on billboards? The picture, right?
No, I was only
billboards, meaning the hold up
That
cardboard.
was just one time.
cutouts?
It was
Oh,
just
never
Minnesota.
mind.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Are you
So
talking
it
about
wasn't
the cardboard?
My point
free
is, a
throw
scoreboard should never do that. Like a team should never put up a picture, an embarrassing picture, whatever it is.
Are you
I'm not
talking
saying you're
about
embarrassed.
cardboard free throw cutout distraction pieces?
Yes.
spinning hypno circles,
Something
like
that.
the
Or pictures of
posters.
Butch in a bikini.
Right.
I love those. I love those. Like the
But
more
that's not scoreboard either. That's
No,
fan.
correct,
There's a
correct.
difference.
Yeah, and we're saying
Josh,
that's not
one
on
is
the
not
scoreboard.
different.
That's different.
fan generated. It's
That's
not
fan
team
generated.
generated. That's
Right.
why I draw
Okay.
the line.
So we all agree.
Teams should not.
It's because
Teams
it's a
should
team.
not generate it.
So
like
we
that.
all agree on that. We all
Fans.
agree.
Like when the fans do it, it's fantastic.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure they're discussing the same thing in Brewers ops right now. Was that too far? Should we keep going with that? It did
What
get
about
us
Brewer Twitter or
attention?
X? Are they discussing it
They,
too?
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
absolutely
Coon.
are having
Coon,
that conversation.
Coon, will Packer
Right, Butch.
social media ever unbutton their tie or unbutton their shirt and loosen their tie?
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
One day.
answer that one.
Certain way to do things. Certain way to do things.
One day everything will happen. This is a matter of time.
Okay.
Well said, Armin.
Well, don't you think?
One day everything will happen. It's
No.
just a matter of time.
What's it going to look like in 100 years?
I don't know, but everything will happen at some
Sure.
point.
It's the 100 monkeys with typewriters theory of
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
Exactly.
We
Give
never-
100 monkeys typewriters and give them infinite amount of time. Eventually, one of them bangs out Shakespeare.
Shocking. Zabe, I'm looking at ESPN. Reds De La Cruz homers after being trolled. Right on the ticker.
That's
Well,
that's their
right on the
storyline.
ticker.
You're right.
And then who
right
won?
on the
They
ticker.
don't care.
Shocking. I
And
just
who won?
looked up.
Right.
Because ESPN's interest is in the De La Cruz story and making him a national star. They're going to
Getting him
always.
over.
They're going to
Well,
show
you're
him as a
helping
get
hero.
him over.
They're
The
gonna
problem
show him
is,
as hero.
Brewers with that take, you're helping
But
that
I don't.
narrative.
I
They
care
were
about. I
gonna
care
show
about
that
winning.
456-foot bomb, regardless of what it said on the screen.
The headline wouldn't say De La Cruz homered after being trolled.
No, it would have said De La Cruz homers a monster out of the stadium.
It wouldn't have said trolled. I'll tell you that. much.
You're
And
right
they wouldn't
about.
have said it.
You're right about that. But
I'm not wrong. I know.
I'm just saying it's not that big of a problem for me.
I agree.
You guys
You
gonna-
are correct about that point, Butch. They
I'm
wouldn't
just
have said
happy
that.
we trolled. We got
Are
it in.
You guys going to talk about Rogers' new necklace?
Already did.
Yes,
You did
we
yesterday,
touched
huh?
on it. We touched on it.
And what'd you think?
Lab grown diamonds, probably anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you think he genuinely liked getting that?
I'm crowing.
We put an over under on 40-year-old hallucinogenic man wearing iced out chains. Over under more than 5 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many times will he wear it?
My real opinion on this is I think he likes being appreciated and not just tolerated now. I think he's having fun with it.
You know what this is going to be like, Kuhn? This will be like the driver that Rogers gave you that you couldn't hit, and then he had to ask you, hey, Cooney, where's that chicken stick I gave you?
Yeah, and he's got to throw it on every now and then to make Sauce happy, or Al the jeweler, whoever he's got to make happy on this
It's
thing.
probably Al. But,
Hey, here you go. I got it. See, pulling out the chicken stick there at Augusta. Well, I got to swing it. My caddy says, "What the hell are you doing? You haven't hit that all." Well, I have to.
I want Butch to wear a
You
chain like that.
You explained to your caddy, 12 gave it to me. I better
All right,
hit
I
it a
need to
few
get
I
it
have,
times.
to
to
swing,
like
I have
that.
to swing it once or twice here. All right.
I'm
Gotta
making.
play some.
Try not to put this one in the woods.
I'm getting Butch a chain made, but it's gonna be cubic zirconia.
It's gonna be
Hey, that's
macaroni.
fine.
It's gonna be a macaroni on dental floss.
What?
It's gonna be a macaroni necklace on dental floss, like the kindergartners make.
Hey,
Oh,
as
but-
long as my daughter made it for me, I'll rock.
No,
that
it's gonna be
thing,
Armin
boys.
Sarian who made it for you.
He's just like one of my kids, for crying. Let's be honest. I think Armin's my second son, for crying out loud, most of the
It's
day.
weird because I'm older than you.
I know, but I still look at you as my second son.
I
Hey,
do.
really
all I
good
gotta
point.
say is up at the cabin, like, hey, Brian, can you take the fish off after
I
you
know,
killed it?
I-
Like, hey, I'm baiting your hook.
Everything.
I'm taking the fish off. I look at you as my second son, man.
I needed you to do everything for me. Can you
I
fix
know.
the
I
hook?
look at you as my second
Yeah,
son.
that's fair.
All right, tag you're it. 9 to noon is next. Have a good one, boys. Josh, great job as
You take
always.
the fish off the hook.
We will
Brian.
see you tomorrow.
Keep me out, or to keep Mother Nature